There we go.
This seems like a lot of work to watch Star Wars. And I want that at the start of the reel. Hey, we're two vet guys.
And
Plus.
another person. This is Holly. We're about to watch Star Wars because someone hasn't seen it before.
Clayton.
Jesus.
No, Holly has not seen Star Wars.
It's true.
Sort of.
Sort
Full disclosure. You have seen...
of. I have seen one of the installments.
Which episode? Which episode was
I'm
that?
told it's the worst ever. The first episode.
No, it's the best.
Oh yeah,
Must have
New
misheard.
Hope from 1977.
Against my will,
Marvel
actually.
cinema.
Against my will, yes.
Like in one of those like Clockwork Orange chairs.
Oh, gosh, it was my aunt.
Stop.
She-
You're not allowed to make that reference.
What? I still know. The
I don't care if you
reference.
know it. You're not allowed to make it. New rule.
Well, we haven't gotten to the Kubrick marathon yet. So.
Oh, that's a dark marathon. Now that's when things get dark.
Yeah, so you have seen episode 1.
Yes.
However, fortunately, through happenstance, that's the one that we're not watching. So what does that tell you about your one that you've watched? So we're about to start. I want to get a little bit baseline. So quick, tell me everything you know about Star Wars.
The absolute basics.
Yes. So
Main character names and pop culture references. That's about it.
you know what a lightsaber is.
Yes.
You've heard of that.
I know what those newfangled lightsabers are.
Do you know of any big reveals that happen in the movies?
I mean, I know that he's Luke's father. I mean, that's about it. I don't know.
I
anything.
assume there was no way to avoid that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's sad. I really can't wait
I
to.
know the basics.
Short of getting like a child.
I can't wait to run social experiments on my children.
Oh yeah.
So I just want to say this video will be a testament that I was planning it early, and kids, you can tell the therapist about this later. 'Cause that's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, but I still think that'll still have an impact, hopefully, a little bit. But there are also some other things.
Like when she finds out that Darth Vader's finds out he's not black. Thanks for
Spoilers!
thanks for fumbling over my joke.
Well,
Jesus,
thanks.
Sam.
You're welcome.
Such a smooth voice, though.
So we're gonna go do that.
Yep.
And I'll
Pretty
probably
stoked.
just put this in with the first one. So quick cut to us afterwards.
Am I the only one who took notes? God, we're gonna suck at this group project. Hey, we're two fat guys.
And we just watched Star Wars.
Yes.
A
we
New
did.
Hope.
Or Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope, depending on who you ask. So what'd you think?
It was incredible. It was way more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. However, that could be because of all the commentary going on in the background.
We limited ourselves. I thought I was pretty proud of how much we limited ourselves.
pretty good.
I mean, granted, you should have saw the first half where Clayton and I were like exclusively texting comments at each other.
And I felt really left out of that.
I didn't know if you would want to be distracted. I felt like you, like going in, I was like, Sam's like really zoned in and he really wants to like view this as sort of an experience. And Clayton and I are just sort of watching Star Wars again. So that's why I didn't include you in that. I'll let you read through
It
these.
was hurtful.
Good. Mission accomplished.
But yeah, then at some point, I think once we woke up,
Yeah.
really,
That's true, because we started super early because we have to.
yeah, we made a lot of Riff Traxy comments.
Which makes me 100% confident that we could totally do a fun Rift Tracks of Star Wars, because I'm sure they haven't yet.
So what do you have on your notes?
I have a lot of notes. Like, my notes are...
Jesus, you do have a lot of notes.
I took notes sort of like how I take notes when I'm watching a show, and they're sort of like in chronological order, and they may not have thematic threads to them. But here's what it is. Darth Vader is like, everyone loves him as this iconic villain.
Yes.
But he has such little screen time. Like, there's a crack note I was reading that's like, he actually has like 15 minutes of actual screen time. It's something incredibly small in the first Star Wars film, and somehow he became this huge icon. You can't help but love him. And I thought one of the things...
Tall, dark, mysterious. I mean, part of that is the mystery. You don't know anything about him from this movie.
Here's what it is I was thinking, though. You were in a sci-fi setting with spaceships and lasers, and this is a man who the first thing you see him do is choke someone to death with his bare hands. And then later, he chokes someone to death with his bare mind!
That's true. Like, he's definitely a hands-on villain living in this, like, bureaucratic
Because I'm watching
empire.
I'm watching Star Wars and lasers, and I was like, holy shit, it just hit me that this dude is choking someone. Like, this could be in any movie. And I really enjoyed that, and I thought maybe that's a little bit of Darth Vader.
Yeah, this viewing, I kind of got, like, a little more into kind of the politics stuff that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things that I didn't care about as a kid. I'm like, yeah, where are the lasers, though?
They're coming. Wait. Soon.
Missing everything that they're being shot at.
Yes. No one is as precise as Imperial Stormtroopers.
Can I have my copies of these plans? They don't have like a wireless internet. Like, here you go, rebels. Like, they have to physically deliver. Like, we put them in this room and let's get them to you. Is there no internet in this world?
I mean, there'd have to be because they received the transmissions
That's
on
true.
the vessel.
You should have just transmitted it straight to Alderaan. That would have saved a lot of time.
Oh no, because then that would reveal where their
The base was on
base
Alderaan.
was. Well, not to Alderaan, but then they would know that there was something in Alderaan, that there were rebels there.
Yeah, because then something terrible might happen to Alderaan if they did that. Good thing they dodged that bullet. Jeez. Oh my. I was thinking, what would it be like to watch Star Wars without the text scroll? Because I'm fairly certain they cover everything you would need to figure out in dialogue like a normal film. You could probably get along without the, like, exposition sandwich. That's why I was really thinking this time. After I read their text scroll, I'm like, because they cover all this. You get pretty quick that there's an empire, that there's a rebel alliance, that the princess is fighting against
I can't
them.
remember. Has the text scroll changed? I know that they redid it. I don't know if they
changed. Clayton, rolling?
He's
No.
shaking his head.
No. Because I know that they went in. The special effects did it up. So.
Yeah, they probably didn't improve the look of it, but I don't think the content has changed, and I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, I know the episode 4.
Like, watch out, but you're not going to hear this sentence too often, but Star Wars is written well enough that you don't need that. Also, did anyone else notice that the sand troopers had pikes? Like the sand troopers that they added on the like weird alien things in the desert, they have like pikes.
Yeah.
What are you stabbing? You have lasers. Shoot people with lasers.
It's so they can check things out, poke things with a stick.
They're more
Yeah, but like, that's way
lasers.
better than being on the ground and being able to look at
Maybe it's like a balance thing, like, oh, I'm falling.
I'm starting to think maybe you shouldn't have just brought these. Since half the guys don't have them anyway.
Oh, you get a do-bag? Oh, man.
Oh, man. By the way, Clayton hates when people say people's names in conversations, don't you, Clayton? Because it always feels unnatural. But Star Wars is written well enough, second time I've said it, that the introduction of Luke and the relationship to the two people he's with is fantastically done. Because I'm like, you can't just yell, someone, hey you, like she yells Luke. So okay, so this guy's walking over, you know it's Luke. Tell your uncle. So you get pretty much everything you need to know right there in a natural conversation in a way that people would say it in real life. And not like, come on, Luke, my nephew, let's go check out these droids for our moisture farm. I was very impressed with that. Oh, by the way, C-3PO and R2-D2 might be my favorite hetero life mates in the history of cinema. There's a moment early on when they were just like at each other, and I was like, oh god, it's so funny. It's such a good pairing.
Like, it has been such a long time. I figured out it's been, I believe, 7 years since I've watched the original trilogy. Anything out of that, and that is too long. I've forgotten a lot of what makes this movie as great as everyone says it is.
Here's a change I would
Also, it's funny. I don't know if you remember that. There are like jokes in these movies that I had totally forgotten about.
They're pretty good. I'm trying to self-edit, so because some of these are just sort of riff tracksy one-shots that you have to be watching the film to get. And I don't think Disney'd be too happy if we put in clips from Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm not playing that game.
Here's a change I would like to propose to be done to this. Instead of having Obi-Wan like yell at the Sand Loop when they run away, R2-D2's the only one who's conscious at that moment, so he can't talk. So just have him watching, and then like have a lightsaber sound effect, and then you just hear like screaming sand people, and then it cuts back, and a kindly old man in the middle of body parts.
They're like, oh Luke, oh my God, what happened, Luke? Oh.
He's feeling like a crazy old man.
They must have been attacked by something.
We'd better get out of here. Come back to my hovel.
Because I'm like, God, that'd be so cool, because that would add so much more mystique to this like slow-moving old man. If like you thought, oh shit, what did he just do to all those sand people? Oh my. You could tell. Oh, we had a terrible time. Having seen Family Guy Star Wars and Robot Chicken, just the... Anytime anything was said ever,
yeah,
we immediately thought of a joke between Dr. Ball MD and all the other gags that we were just dying. Yeah. Pew pew. What's with the cantina being racist against droids, other than to add the weird tension of maybe the troopers will find the droids, unless that door's locked. We don't serve that kind. I don't think they were going to get a drink. I honestly don't.
I feel like the 3PO suit was a pain in the ass, and they tried to keep him out of as many scenes as possible.
But they added scenes with him. Like, if he would have just disappeared and, like, waited by the speeder, but no, they, like, filmed shit with him on the street doing stuff.
Well, I mean, but because, like, there's a couple of instances where 3PO have just been, like, taken out of the scene oddly. Like, oh, if it's okay with you, I'm going to deactivate you.
Yeah, that's a terrible line, too. Once again, though, it's still all, like, in metagetic reasons. It's not, there's nothing that's diegetic that, why can't droids walk into this cantina?
Because he owns that cantina, and his parents were killed by droids, so...
Is it that droids are incredibly loyal to whoever they serve, and there are so many, like, bad guys in that cantina that they don't want any information from, I don't know. That's the only logical thing that I can think of.
It's a better explanation than anything.
It sounds like you're becoming a Star Wars fan already.
Yeah.
That is the staple of Star Wars fandom, is to take giant plot holes and explain them with tons of complicated sci-fi. Such as the Kessel Run.
Yeah, the parsecs and the Kessel Run.
Parsecs are those of you who don't know, and you do know because you're watching a video on the internet about people talking about Star Wars. A parsec is a measure of distance, not a measure of time. So, he ran it in under this distance.
12 parsecs, yeah.
So, I like the theory that he was just bullshitting them. I like that he was just making shit up about his ship and hoping they wouldn't know. But, the fans made up, and like now it's Star Wars canon for whatever the fuck that's worth. That the Kessel Run...
He went close to a...
The Kessel Run is like a series of black holes. And so the closer you get to them, the more space is distorted, and therefore, like, okay, you're such a fast ship that you can fly this close to black holes to make the space shorter. Now, like, that's terrible. Tell me how fast your ship moves. That's how we measure speed. So yes, well done becoming a Star Wars fan so quickly. I do want to talk about something that Darths and Droids brought up, which, by the way, if you haven't seen Darths and Droids, it's amazing. Essentially, it's screenshots of episodes starting with episode 1, and it retells the plot of Star Wars as if it's being played by a group of tabletop role-playing gamers. And so all the random plot holes that don't make sense, it's just all explained away with these gamers doing stupid shit that gamers always do. And I don't question that Han would run after stormtroopers to punch them when he ran out of lasers. Like that's exactly what would happen, because you're a PC and nothing can kill you. But they point out something to me that was like a glass-shattering moment about this. That they just completely don't use the Chekhov's lightsaber.
Yeah.
And this Luke in Act 1 gets this lightsaber passed down from his father that is like this deadly weapon, and like he trains with it a little bit, and then you see Obi-Wan using one, and then Luke never uses it.
And he can clearly use the Force, you know, if he can believe in himself enough. So
they were stuck in a garbage compactor, and they didn't cut a hole in the wall with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Or cut off the fucking tentacle of the monster.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm under attack. Well, I guess I'll die now. I have no weapon that can save me.
Oh, we're on this bridge being shot at. We only have one gun. I guess I'll deflect lasers like I was doing earlier. Like 20 minutes ago. They just never use it.
Instead, I'll shoot wildly at them.
That's how cool it is, though.
And
it's
then
like
fiddle fuck around with something that I can fling and then swing across with the princess.
It is like, the lightsabers are like Vader, though. They have such little screen time in this film, but they're just so undeniably awesome that they immediately became icons. So yeah, the checkup. What is the blast shield helmet for, other than that specific scene where you're training without being able to see?
Cause
Like, what point would it be to have an opaque wall in front of your face?
maybe it's like a welding helmet.
But no, he couldn't see.
Well, yeah, but
Which
like,
welding
yeah, for
is-
welding, it's something that's super bright.
Yeah, but it's
So like,
you
for
get
normal, if you put on a welding helmet right now, you wouldn't be able to see anything.
it feels like it was just plastic opaque wall. No, you're being a Star Wars fan. Stop it.
How dare you?
Man, Han's woohoo down the garbage chute. I had forgotten about that. Han is one of the most whimsical characters. He's the only one who's reacting appropriately to all these situations. He yeehaws and he comes back last fight. He's like, fuck it, let's kill this big guy. Yeehaw! Fuck you. That's why everyone loves Han. You should talk amongst yourselves.
I realized, because we didn't mention it before, but it's kind of a little bit timely that we're doing a Star Wars thing now, because recently the director for Episode 7 was announced, J.J. Abrams, which I'm looking forward to, because he did Star Trek really well, and he wasn't a Star Trek fan. He always preferred Star Wars, but then did Star Trek, so now that he's actually a fan of Star Wars doing Star Wars, I'm really excited to see where he goes with it.
May I offer a counter-argument? You know who was a huge fan of King Kong?
Alright, that's fair.
That's the only thing I'm concerned about, because Peter Jackson had thought since he was 7 about how he would make a King Kong movie, and then he did exactly what he wanted to with King Kong, and
Catch Jack Black in it. He's wanted to do it for 30 years.
I'm glad I haven't
and so that's why there are 14 bug pits, and like, just get to the city. We just want this asshole to climb the Empire State Building, and that's 4 hours away. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. Although I will think it will be good, because he's not made like shitty movies. I think if anything, he'll err on the side of too much lasery explosion, which I could be alright with. And I think it's going to be really weird. I mean, Holly still has his out of her, but I think it's going to be really weird going to see a good Star Wars movie without knowing everything that's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to sit down and not know the plot of a Star Wars film, and it's going to be good, and I'm going to enjoy it. And I don't know what that's like. I've never gotten that opportunity. So that's going to be really interesting. Next, let's have a bunch of random things. Although we do have a theory. I do want to bring up the Naked Obi-Wan. If I may call it the Naked Obi-Wan.
Yes.
Oh, the rope thing.
Clayton brought up, he knew someone, or he made someone up, or it's just a theory that someone had misunderstood what happened when Obi-Wan gets killed and sort of dissipates into the Force. And they thought that he had, like, found a trap door and, like, slipped out of his clothes and fell to the floor below. And so there's this naked old man Obi-Wan roaming the halls of the Death Star. And he's there until the trench run.
He gets abandoned, because they leave right away.
And he finds an intercom and he's talking to Luke. Luke, use the Force! And get me out of here! I'm trapped in the Death Star.
Obi-Wan?
I'm naked and trapped in the Death Star. I'm in the heating
A lot of that was garbled in the transmission.
I'm down the main reactor shaft. I'm gonna crawl out. There's a tiny hole. It's only about 2 meters wide. So you have to look real close.
Make it. Oh, you're nearby. You're good. You can give me a ride. Oh, dear God. Oh, boy. I'm on so much fire.
So now, sorry, you will never be able to imagine anything else ever happening at the end of A New Hope, because that is now the new ending. Woo! Oh man.
So it's Luke that kills Obi-Wan.
Naked Obi-Wan crawling up the bed.
I kind of want that to happen.
Oh, it did. Were you watching?
I've been waiting on video to do that aside.
I've done a couple. They're just not been very good.
If they're not good, then I don't cut to them.
I know. I gotta give you a lot of bad shit to watch, though. That's the thing. You have to sit there and occasionally glance at it. And that's enough. Making more work for you is my goal here. So, that was that. We're about to watch episode V for Vendetta.
Yep.
Starring Hugo Weaving.
Starring Hugo Weaving. He's super
And Natalie Portman. Except not this one.
yeah, so Empire Strikes Back. I mean, if you don't love Empire Strikes Back, you're dead inside.
I'm excited.
So, fair warning, we're going to judge you pretty harshly if you go like, I can't for it.
As a kid, my favorite was always Return of the Jedi. And I believe that to be, it was, the flashier, kind of epic one, the big conclusion. But, through talking to other Star Wars fans, the general consensus is that Empire's the best. So I think now that I'm a little older and more mature and enjoy kind of movie structure more, I'm really excited to give this one a fair shake.
See, I would have a hard time doing that. As a kid, I don't remember ever watching one of the films.
Well, yeah, that's.
I think at most I would skip episode 4 and I would watch 5 and 6.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever just watching one of them, so I don't know if it's fair for me to say like, oh, well, this one's the best because.
I think I would either do them all or sometimes just 6.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch a bunch.
So it's hard for me to say. I know the general consensus is the 5 is the best, and maybe I don't know. I mean, it has the great ending, and all the great stuff in the middle, and the great stuff in the beginning. But if you like great stuff, then whatever.
Yeah. So we'll be back for that.
Pew 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 pew. Pawn shot first.
Well, they were kind of tied this time. He made them closer, so it was.
So people
would stop arguing about it. Basically, making it so more people would argue about it.
Got it. So now we can argue about 3 versions.
Yeah.
Well, this way does redeem him. I don't care. He's a bad guy. He's an anti-hero. Let him shoot people. Greedo was gonna shoot him. I don't see what the big conflict is.
I want to get a shirt that says Greedo shot first, just because I don't think I've ever seen anyone staunchly pro Greedo shot first, except maybe, oh man, if I saw George Lucas wearing a Greedo shot
first, kill him. He'd be a dead man.
No, I would shake his hand because that would be fantastic.
I don't think you had a chance to because you walked to him
that's true. Everyone else would kill him.
Legions of fans would pour over the hill with parts of benches they had just torn off and just start beating him to death.
And just the balls it would take just to walk in public as George Lucas, we're a Greedo shot first, bitches. Sure.
I think right now, George Lucas is swimming around in a Scrooge McDuck pile of gold coins, wearing Jar Jar Binks boxers and Greedo shot first shirt. Because he swims with a shirt on, he's a little husky. Even in his money pool.
I'm now remembering that our videos never end.
Well, I thought you would stop. I thought we had stopped earlier, and this is just sort of bonus time. Bonus time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Just in case.
That's your job.
Just in
That's
case.
my mama.
Now we're stopping.
Let's stand up in the middle of your comments.